file, new, and start part file. So I have my overall dimensions right, 4.875. I have 1.875, 2.5. I have 1 inch here, 1.75. The only thing missing is, so let's add these dimensions. I hit this side by side, so let's try it. All right, let's do start sketch on my top plane. Again, I'm just gonna kind of draw the overall shape of the part. Let's start adding some dimensions. So before I do that, I'm in millimeters, so I'm gonna eliminate the sketch, jump to inches, and go back to my sketch. And the reason I do that is because if I actually just switch midway, it's automatically gonna kick me out of that sketch. Right, so I can, so let's just go to inches, go back to my sketch. I know that this is 4.875. Let's do, so I know from this point, this edge, it's 3.5. Maybe move this up a bit. This is 2.5. This point to that point, 4.875. I know it's a 20 degree angle. But let's see, what else am I missing? I'm missing this distance, right? 0.75. Missing this distance, which is 1 inch. So right now I'm underdefined. So if I scroll down, right, that's going to be 2.5, 1.875, 20 degrees, 4.875. That's all my dimensions here. I'm missing either this distance or this distance, something that will fully define my sketch. If I scroll down, look at this view, I'm given that this distance is 1.25. Right now I'm fully defined. Let's do an extrusion. Let's look at, so this view tells me it's 0.750 or 3/4 of an inch. So far so good. Any questions about fully defining the first sketch and doing the extrusion? Good. So I noticed that I have these two walls, right? I have the first one, which is right here. I'm giving the dimensions. It's a 1/4 of an inch away offset from that edge. Also, one thing to point out is that the height is 0.750, and with the other wall, it's 1/2 inch. Right, so in a 1/2 inch and a 3/4 of an inch, two different heights for the walls. And the only reason I state that, right, if this was a CSWA exam and you use one or the other for both walls, right, it's off by more than 1%, right? make sure you follow every dimension on there. It should be utilized. So let's create this first one, right? So if I come here, start a sketch. If I go normal 2. There's different. I can do this. I can just kind of follow what profile I want, and then fully dimension that, right? I have all the dimensions required to fully dimension that. Yes?
Yes.
Another thing is I can, let's say, delete that. Is just to offset these two edges, 0.25, go inside, and then I can move these and get the same results from this, right? With this, right, I can either, and again, so let's say I have this, I can go back and create my lines to fully close that sketch, or, so I don't want to do that, I can convert these two lines, right? And if I draw my line, and then trim these, I get the same result, right? I can fully define this now. So this distance is 0.5. This distance is 3 inches. Right here, and right here. And I have my offset, or this dimension, and I have a fully defined sketch. Any questions about creating this sketch? Features extrude, so I know my height for this feature, 3/4 of an inch. 0.75, click OK. Let's jump to this wall, right? So one thing to note that I notice is that it's not uniform offset from this edge, right? I have 0.375 here, 0.375 here, and I have 0.25 inches here, right? So if I do an offset, I wouldn't want to offset all 3 edges. I would want to offset 2. That makes sense? Or I can create a sketch and just fully dimension all 3 dimensions. Right? There's different ways I can do this. So let's say sketch. Let's say I want to offset this wall or this edge and this edge, and it's 0.375. I want to reverse the direction, right? I want an interior wall. Click OK. Right now it's underdefined because, right, I only offsetted these walls and not an enclosed space. So I can drag this out too. And now I can just go, let's say I add this line, right? Maybe I add this line, and then I convert this line, that line, and this line. These 3 edges, just gonna convert these 3, and I can utilize trim, right? Still underdefined. I know that this distance is 1 inch away, right? Right here. I also know that the height is 0.25. and that this distance is 1 inch. I could have went about it a different way. I could have just created the lines, added that this is 0.375, and this distance is 0.375, and this is 0.25. We've gotten the same exact results. But again, just more practice with offset entities, converting lines.